The Story of Hassebu. Once upon a time there lived a poor woman who had only one child, and he was a little boy called Hassebu. When he ceased to be a baby and his mother thought it was time for him to learn to read, she sent him to school. And after he had done with school, he was put into a shop to learn how to make clothes, and did not learn. But he was put to do silversmith's work, and he did not learn there either. And whatsoever he was taught, he did not learn it. His mother never wished him to do anything he did not like, so she said, "Well, stay at home, my son." And he stayed at home, eating and sleeping. One day the boy said to his mother, "What was my father's business?" "He was a very learned doctor," said she. "Where then are his books?" said Hassebu. "Many days have passed, and I have thought nothing of them, but look inside and see if they are there." So Hassebu looked and saw they were eaten by insects, all but one book, which he took and read. He was sitting at home one morning poring over the medicine book when the neighbors came by and said to his mother, "Give us this boy, that we may go out together to cut wood." For the woodcutter was making a trade, and they loaded several donkeys with wood, and they sold it in town. And his mother answered, "Very well, tomorrow I will buy him a donkey, and you can all go together." So the donkey was bought, and the neighbors came, and they worked hard all day, and the evening brought back wood for the town, and sold it for a good sum of money. And for 6 days they went and did the like, but on the seventh day it rained, and the woodcutters ran and hid in the rocks. But Hassebu, who did not mind getting wet, stayed where he was. While he was sitting in the place where the woodcutters had left him, he took up a stone that lay near him, and oddly dropped it on the ground. It rang with a hollow sound, and he called to his companions and said, "Come here, listen to the ground seems hollow." "Knock again," they cried, and he knocked, and they listened. "Let us dig," said the boy. And they dug, and they found a large pit like a well, filled up with honey to the brim. "Well, this is better than firewood," they said. "It will bring us more money, and as you have found it, Habasu, it is you must go inside and dip out the honey to give to us, and we will take it to town and sell it." The following day each man brought every bowl and vessel he could find at home, and Habasu filled them all with honey. This he did every day for 3 months. At the end of that time the honey was very nearly finished, and there was only a little left, quite very deep down, so deep that it seems that it might be the middle of the earth. Seeing this, the men said to Habasu, "We will put a rope under your arms and let you down, so that you may scrape up all the honey that is left. And when you have done it, we will lower the rope again, and you shall make it fast." "Very well," answered the boy, and he went down, and he scraped and scraped till there was not much honey left to cover the point of a needle. "Now I'm ready," he cried, and they consulted together and said, "Let us leave him in the pit, take his share of the money, and we shall tell his mother, 'Your son was caught by a lion and carried off into the forest, and we tried to follow him but could not.'" Then they arose and went to town and told his mother so, as they had agreed. And she wept so much and made her mourning for very many months. And in the meantime the men divided the money, and one said, "Let us go send a little friend to our friend's mother." And then they sent her some, and every day one took her a piece of rice and some oil, and took her some meat. And one even took her clothes, every day. It did not take long for Habasu to find out that his companions had left him to die in the pit. but he had a brave heart and hoped that he might be able to find his own way out. So at once he began to explore the pit and found it ran back a long way underground. And by night he slept, and by day he took a little of the honey he had gathered and ate it. And so many days passed by. One morning, while he was sitting on a rock having his breakfast, a large scorpion dropped down at his feet, and he took a stone and killed it, fearing it might sting him. And suddenly the thought darted into his head. This scorpion must have come from somewhere. Perhaps there is a hole. I will go and look for it. And he felt it all around the walls of the pit, and found a very little hole in the roof of the pit, with a tiny glimmer of light at the far end of it. Then his heart felt glad, and he took out his knife and dug, until the little hole became a big one, and he could wriggle himself through. And when he got outside, he saw a large open space in front of him, and a path leading out of it. He went along the path, on and on, till he reached a large house, with a golden door standing open. Inside was a great hall, and in the middle of the hall a throne set with precious stones, and a sofa spread with the softest cushions. And he went in, and he lay down on it, and fell fast asleep, for he had walked quite a bit. By and by there was a sound of people coming through the courtyard, and the measured tramp of soldiers. This was the king of the snakes coming in to state of his palace. They entered the hall, but all was stopped in surprise, finding a man lying on the king's own bed. The soldiers wished to kill him at once, but the king said, "Let him alone. Put me on a chair." And the soldiers who were carrying him knelt on the floor, and he slid from their shoulders to the chair. When he was seated comfortably, he turned to his soldiers and bade them to wake the stranger gently. Then they woke him, and he sat up and saw so many snakes all around him, and one of them was beautiful and dressed in royal robes. "Who are you?" asked Hassebu. "I am the king of snakes," was the reply, "and this is my palace. And will you tell me who you are and where you come from?" "Well, my name is Hassebu, but whence I come I don't really know whither I go." "Then stay with me a little while," said the king, and he bade his soldiers bring water and spring from fruits of the forest, and to set them to. Hassebu rested and feasted in the palace of the king of snakes, and then began to long for his mother in his own country. So he said to the king of snakes, "Send me home, I pray." But the king of snakes answered, "When you go home, you will do me evil." "I will do you no evil," said Hassebu. "Send me home, I pray." But the king said, "I know it. I will send you home, and you will come back and kill me. I dare not do it." But Hassebu begged so hard that at last the king said, "Swear to me that when you get home, you will not go to bathe where many people are gathered." But Hassebu swore, and the king ordered his soldiers to take Hassebu in sight of his native city. Then he went straight to his mother's house, and the heart of his mother was glad. Now, the sultan of the city was very ill, and all the wise men said that the only thing to cure him was the flesh of the king of the snakes, and that the only man who could get to it was a man with a strange mark on his chest. So the viziers had set people to watch at the public baths, so to see if such a man came there. For 3 days, Hassebu remembered his promise to the King of Snakes and did not go near the baths. Then came a morning so hot he could hardly breathe, and he forgot all about it. The moment he had slipped off his robe, he was taken before the vizier, who said to him, "Lead us to the place where the King of Snakes lives." "I do not know it," answered he, but the vizier did not believe him, and had him bound and beaten until his back was all torn. Then Hassebu cried, "Loose me, that I might take you." They went together a long, long way till they reached the palace of the King of Snakes. And Hassebu said to the king, "It was not I. Look at my back and you will see how they drove me to it." "Who has beaten you like this?" said the king. "It was the vizier," said Hassebu. "Then I am already dead," said the king sadly, "but you must carry me there yourself." So Hassebu carried him, and on the way the king said, "When I arrive, I shall be killed and my flesh will be cooked. But take some of the water that I am boiled in and put it in a bottle and lay it on one side. The vizier will tell you to drink it, but be careful not to do so. Then take some more of the water and drink it, and you will become a great physician, and the third will supply you give to the sultan. And when the vizier comes to you and asks, 'Did you drink what I gave you?' you must answer, 'I did, and this is for you.' And he will drink it and die, and your soul will rest." And they went their way to the town, and all happened as the King of Snakes had said. And the Sultan loved Hassebu, who became a great physician, and cured many sick people. But he was always sorry for the poor king of the snakes.